Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having a good Sunday afternoon. I got a review for you. Got some new IEMs, but before I get into this review, I got something I want to show you. Here's some good news. Check this out. Check that out. See that? LaShawn, I'm on your left. That's all I gotta say. Now, around the same time as the Kiwi Ears Cadenza was released, TinHifi, they dropped the C2 right here in their monitors. Now here's a disclaimer. Linsoul, they sent these IEMs to me for my honest review. Linsoul has no editorial input on my review, and I received no compensation from Linsoul for these IEMs. With that out of the way, tech specs. Now, since I started my last video talking about the sound quality, I'm gonna do that again. Now, I mentioned in my cadenza review that the tuning to me was like a lowercase C-shaped sound. I would describe the C2 tuning as either a dark U shape or a bright B shape sound. Now, break the sound down, I'm going to be talking about the bass, the mids, and the treble separately. Now, this is my first set of IEMs from TinHifi. I'm going to exclude the TinBuds 3. Those were true wireless earbuds. I did not like the mechanics for the case. It was doo-doo. Now, the C2, they did an excellent job with the mid-range, and I'll talk about that first. The mids, they are front and center. Unlike the cadenza, they are clear and they're smooth. Female vocalists like Cleo Sol, Adele, SZA, they sound natural and live. Leon Bridges, The Weeknd, Luke Combs, Daniel Caesar, they also sound natural. The C2, they did an amazing job reproducing the sounds. Electric guitars also stand out in the mids as well. Now, there is one caveat, unfortunately. The mid bass does bleed ever so slightly into the mid range, but that doesn't mean that the set is bad, not at all. So since I mentioned the bass, I might as well go talk about that as well. So listening to Sober by Tool, the bass guitar gets real deep. The sub bass and the mid bass is fast. The C2, they have a really good transient speed to them, especially when there's a lot going on in the song. I mentioned in the cadenza review that they did a good job with the speed. Actually, not so much. When there's a lot going on in a song, the cadenzas, they had a hard time keeping up. On the other hand, the C2, they did a really good job keeping up. The sub bass and the mid bass is fast. The attack in the lower frequencies is outstanding, but the decay on the mid bass is weaker. It wants to overstay its welcome, which is the cause of the bleed. However, the bass isn't muddy, it's clean, it's a little laid back. Now, lastly, talking about the treble. Hoo-wee, man, the treble, airy and spacious treble, pleasantly extended treble. I can speak English. Percussion instruments are in full effect. So I love the treble on the C2. So I'm gonna get a sound quality of 4 out of 5. If it wasn't for the mid bass kind of pushing into the mid range a little bit, I would give it a 5 out of 5, but I'm gonna give it a 4. Now, driving the C2. Now, using a simple DAC for your Android phone or your iPhone is sufficient. But if you want more detail in the upper mids and especially in the lower treble, and also provide you with more soundstage, you might want to use an app, a high-powered app like this right here. I'm gonna give the drivability on the C2 a 5 out of 5, because when I was using my iFi audio DAC here, the Hip DAC 2, especially at like louder volumes, the music is sounding so good. I mean, for this set is around $39. They're under 50, so it's a really good set, and they perform well. So I gotta give it to TinHifi for that. So drivability, 5 out of 5. Now we're gonna talk about the fit and the comfort. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the shells off the cable right quick. I saw someone refer to the shells as they look like Snoopy, and now I can't unsee that, but to me they kind of remind me of the Campfire Audio Honeydew, or like some IEMs from Campfire Audio, because they have this industrial machine look to them, and they're made out of aluminum. Got a nice feel to them. They do look blocky and they do have sharp edges, but they are very comfortable in my ears. Now, I started out using the SpinFit CP100 Plus, the ones with the red core in there in that container. But they kind of made them stick out of my ears a little bit. Didn't have really a low profile. So I went back to the stock tips that came with the C2. And there are 6 sets of tips. I'm assuming ranging from extra large all the way down to extra small. Hopefully I put the ones that came on them by default. Hopefully these are the medium ones. If not, that's fine because they fit me perfectly. So there's no need for you to get any third-party accessories for this. Lastly, let me talk about the cable. Cable is really good. It's not a braided cable. I know a lot of people are used to braided cables with IEMs, but this one is flat. And the benefit of that is that it doesn't tangle. It has very little memory to it. It's got a nice substantial 3.5 millimeter plug on it. It's got a good Y splitter. The ear hooks, they keep the IEMs staying put. They don't move when I have them on my ears. And lastly, it has, where's it at? Okay, here it is. It has a Velcro organizer. So when you roti wrap your IEMs, they stay put and they're easy to store away. So I'm going to do a roti wrap here. Over, under. Just like so. Boom. So you take the Velcro and makes it quick and easy for safe storage. That's not as neat, but you get the idea. Boom. Cable ain't going anywhere. But yeah, using the stock tips, they don't protrude out of my ears as much. So I switched back to those. And these are side sleeper approved. They give it a much better profile. And the stock tips also give you a better seal. They have good passive noise isolation on them. That is important. That is why you should try out all the tips included. They're not just for show. So wrapping up this video, I'd like to say that the C2 have clean bass. They have natural mids. They have an airy treble presentation with a wide sound stage. There's no semblance. There's no s. So that's free of that. And they're under $50 with a single dynamic driver. Once again, I'd like to thank Linsoul for sending these out. Without them, this video wouldn't be possible. That being said, enjoy your life. Enjoy your sound. I'll see you in the next one.